In our interview segment, Lemmy Ughegbe, one of those behind the Justice for Ochanya campaign, talks about what government and the relevant authorities should do to stem the tide. Mr. Lemmy Ughegbe, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Well, we're still on the issue of Ochanya, 13-year-old Ochanya, who, of course, is the latest victim of sexual assault. Yeah. And you are one of the activists, who's been on this case since it bursted out. Tell us exactly what is going on as we speak.
Yeah, against the groundswell of protests and advocacies across the country last week, a magistrate court, the Andrew Abuja, the pedophilic foster father of Ochanya, was arrested again, and the magistrate, even though declined jurisdiction on a matter because, of course, he can't handle such matter, he remanded him in prison custody and adjourned the matter till November 26. We expect that the chief judge of Benue State at this point will do that which is right, which is send that case file to a judge of competent jurisdiction. That means to a judge in the High Court to preside over the trial of Andrew Abuja, while the son, who is also a co-accused in this matter, Victor, is said to be at large. And of course, the mother or the wife of that house has not been cited as a party yet. But of course, members of the civil society insist that she is a missing link. We believe that she's complicit in the matter. And from the intelligence we gathered, even from the caregiver of Ochanya, the woman was aware of it, but as usual, the African thing, we like to keep it hush, not talk about it, not allow family to be scandalized. And we insist that the three suspects, the man, Andrew, the son, Victor, said to be at large, and the wife ought to be, three of them standing trial, not just Andrew. That's one. Two, happily, the governor Tom, has ordered the Ministry of Justice to take over the matter. While I like that, always a political statement and political points to be scored.
You think that's just a political statement?
Yes, because from experience, I at least have been around the judicial circles for over 2 decades. And I've seen that when governors, presidents, and co are directly involved in matters, especially when it comes to matters of their personal interest, they do not take the chance of leaving the case to lawyers of the ministries of justice, because, of course, apart from the fact that those ones are not really motivated, they are hardly trained and retrained, they are not up to speed with what is the current trend, with due respect, as against lawyers who are every day in litigation, every day in court, So you find that they'll get the best of the senior advocates in, and gets senior lawyers also who may not be senior advocates involved. So if the governor really wants to show us he places premium on this, I think he should get at least 3 erudite practicing lawyers, from the private sector. If they want recommendations, we'll make recommendations. Lawyers who are around this area of concern.
You see, this is a growing trend, and it's becoming really, really worrisome, because even the outcomes are not exactly encouraging. You see a lot of, prominent men or big shots, in quote, who actually buy their way out of such cases, and they walk away crime-free and all of that at the end of the day. So from the information you're privy to, how many of such cases are actually successful?
Wow, it's usually it's a tough call. In recent time, one was successful in Benin to the extent that the man who defiled his daughter and got her pregnant. Of course, the evidence is the fact that the pregnancy grew and he couldn't deny further. So they established the fact of his wrongdoing. But as I said, they convicted him, sentenced him to 14 years imprisonment, which by law is about 7 years. That's the kind of thing we get because the law, it's interesting, and I think that the wise men who drafted the law may have gone on, their brain may have gone on French leave at that time. Why do I say so? The law as it is now says if you rape an individual, you get maximum of life sentence. But it says if you sexually violate a minor, you get maximum of 25 years. Now you can see how laughable that is. A minor, sleeping with a minor amounts to not just sexual violation, but rape. Because a minor cannot genuinely give consent to a sexual relationship. But the law just actually whittles down the gravity. It's less grievous if you sleep with an adult girl and rape her than sleeping with a minor and calling it a mere sex violation, and says it's maximum of 25 years. So I think that the lawmakers, the National Assembly, must work towards tinkering with the law to amend that provision. I want to urge Governor Tom, if he really loves the people of Benue, because this is a major crisis going on in Benue now. I have intelligence already, okay, and we are working on it. Journalists are all over the place investigating now. An orphanage in Benue, in Makurdi. We won't mention the names yet because we've not come out fully with the details. But an orphanage where these children are subjected to such violations again. Yes, crazy. Then, of course,
the owner of the orphanage?
The owner of the orphanage is raising an orphanage for the purpose of satisfying the mad desires of politicians, big wigs in the States.
How old are these children in the
Little children, ranging from age 1 upward in the orphanage. So whichever one suits whatever their desires are, they work on them. We are working on that. We are getting to the bottom of that. I just received another one, a 5-year-old girl in Makurdi. 5-year-old girl. Since the advocacy last week, I've been receiving a lot in my inbox. This one is trending today on Facebook. A 5-year-old girl defiled by a 39-year-old man in Makurdi. So that is why it's in the interest of Governor Tom and the people of Benue to give the best legal representation to the Ochanya case so that that will serve as a deterrent if this man and his son are convicted.
You have mediated in many of these cases.
Yes.
What do you advise them, firsthand, just like a first aid treatment to do, when they become victims of sexual assault?
The first thing is to make yourself available to the hospitals. You must go for medical, for medical examination and treatment. And the treatment is not just giving drugs and all. You need a psychologist.
Who do they report to in their rural communities? Well,
in their rural communities, except it breaks the way it breaks, most of them, tradition just makes it, they are afraid of being stigmatized. How can a girl come and say, my father just slept with me? She'll be stigmatized for life. But we must begin to enlighten people that beyond being broken, if we work on that person, once you speak, we'll get people, caregivers, to work with you to help you overcome that and help society to absorb you not as a stigmatized person. You are a victim that needs to be sympathized with and encouraged to find your life again.
We must thank you very much, Mr. Lemmy Ughegbe, for your time on Dateline Abuja.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you for your mails and tweets, as always. I'll take this one coming from Ahmed Hussein. He says, you can't revolutionize anything with ideas perceived in the 1960s. You better say the FG is recapping its failed policies. It's only when you're a farmer that you can understand this in agricultural dimensions, unquote. Well, keep sending in your views and comments using the email address and Twitter handles on your screen. Also, be sure to share anything happening within your locality. Don't you forget, you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. Thank you for watching this week. I'm Gloria Umezuke. See you again.